Hey, hello everybody, I am casting a game. Okay, let me start over. This is Jesse, aka Drackbolt, creator and developer of Dune 2 The Golden Path. I am casting a game with Frontliner and the SlowKiwi, two longtime fans, players. Yes, I'm here. And I'm going to show you a little bit about this game. I'm going to have another terrible cast because I'm not prepared for this in the slightest. Alright, so here we go. I'm Jesse. I'm Drackbolt. I cast a game. I actually do have a mouse this time with a mouse wheel, so now I can scroll and show you the whole map like this. This is a new map that Frontliner just created. I have no idea what it's called. Who is who? Actually, let me ask. Who's who? I'm guessing that Frontliner is up here as Harkonnen and Kiwi is probably Atreides. That would be my guess. Alright, see by the coloring that Frontliner is in fact Harkonnen. Alright, these guys are trolling me a little bit, which is always fun to see. So Frontliner usually goes a macro heavy build. Let's see what he's going to do. He's got a whole lot of harvesters out. This board is insane. There's way too much spice on this board. So these guys are just going to steamroll. Somebody's going to steamroll the other guy. That's what's going to happen. If you haven't seen any of the cast of this game before, Dune 2 The Golden Path works quite a bit differently from the original Dune 2. The combat system is really reworked. It has some really modern RTS elements. Lots of hotkey shortcuts. It's definitely designed for right hand mouse, left hand on the keyboard. Very playable in general, but there are some differences. Like, for instance, the worms are a permanent effect. When there's a worm sign, it'll show up here, and you'll have to just stop everything on the sand. Almost anything will attract a worm right away, and you can't attack the worms or keep them away permanently in any normal way. So that's something to consider. Another thing about combat is that the individual properties of units have been changed quite a bit. Infantry are very effective against slow-firing tanks. Tanks are very effective against other armor and buildings. You know, everything has strong points and weak points. Where is my green? Green. I don't know what Kiwi's saying down there. Something else about combat is that you can't actually target an individual enemy. You have to target a location. You can't just send somebody to their death. You can't basically give somebody suicidal orders and just tell them to go straight ahead and follow a guy forever, no matter where he goes. You can only tell people to attack a certain range, and also when they start attacking, they get locked in combat. They can't move around very easily. If you issue a move order to someone under fire, they'll automatically take a lot of extra damage. So it's really foolish to do that. Really, the only way. I can't paint without green. Okay, Mr. Artful over here is doing something odd. So basically, in the middle of combat, the way to get your people out of combat safely is to give them retreat orders, which makes them a little bit faster and tells them to hightail it back to wherever your retreat flag is, which you can set with this icon up here. So basically, I was just giving filler for you, a little background on the game while waiting to see what these guys are going to do. Frontliner is doing a very typical build for him, which is very heavy macro, leading into a starport, leading into enormous, gigantic orders that'll come down and basically just either lead to a whole bunch of fail or cause a lot of pain for the other guy. So he's ramping straight up. It looks like he's moving a little bit faster than Kiwi. Kiwi's going a little bit more traditional with a high-tech factory and a bunch of carryalls, so he's definitely trying to play it safe. I'm not sure. I can't see how many carryalls. Looks like only one, maybe only one carryall for Frontliner, so he saved a bunch of money there. So we'll see what these guys are going to do. I'm afraid Kiwi's kind of off to a bad foot here, just because there's just so much spice on the board, so many resources. I'm afraid a more traditional build is going to get him in trouble, but he does have a ton of refineries up, so he's going to be doing real well eventually in terms of economy. Let's see. So worm sign is here. Worms are attacking anything that moves. Harvesters are trying to get away. That one might get eaten. It's pretty close. Oh, lucky. And Frontliner will go straight into a palace, too. Not sure what he's going to do with that. I can't see right away who he's allied with. May or may not have allied with the Fremen. I can't really tell because if I remember, I designed the game, but it's been a while since I looked at it. If I remember, I made it so that the worms would still attack harvesters even if you allied with the Fremen, maybe just not quite as often. I don't quite remember what I did there, but anyway, we'll see what he does, whether he goes for Death Hands, maybe. He's got some MTPs coming out, which means he might try some mercenary play at some point. Okay, Worm's coming after that, so he's not allied with the Fremen. So he's either allied with House Carino or with... Nice going. Or with the Spacing Guild. So we'll see what he pumps out first. That'll give us some kind of a clue what he's doing. On the other hand, SlowKiwi already has a palace up of his own. Cool. And he's got a vehicle factory, which means that he might be... he may be going towards Sardaukar. We'll find out. Alright, he's going to expand like a virus with a couple of MCVs. I already see 2 extra MCVs out. And actually, both these players are playing very similar to each other. Got a power issue there. Oh, here comes the scout. So Frontliner's about to get a bunch of information on what his opponent is doing. He may or may not have been able to see that MCV as it walked by. If he did see it, I think he may have seen it and he might be going to find it. Or it could just, yeah, it looks like he's definitely going to keep an eye on that guy. And if Kiwi is smart, he will definitely get some defensive units out there to try and give a little protection to that box. Kiwi has 1 heavy vehicle factory. I don't see him coming out with anything other than MCVs, though. And a structure just got demolished. I think that might have been... Well, let's see what's going on. Oh. So here's a scout coming in, taking a couple of random shots. Will that scout make it? It did. So, yeah, it looks like there was a little demolishing going on there. Or maybe a saboteur. Could that have been a saboteur? That'd be really surprising. Well, that scout just barely got away. I'd be really surprised if there were saboteurs out here. That'd be awesome to see, though, because you just don't see them used too often. But no, that can't be, because Kiwi doesn't even have a barracks. Unless I'm blind, like I have been in the past. But no, he doesn't have a barracks. Oh, a whole bunch of barracks over here for Frontliner, so it might be him who's thinking about going with saboteurs. I'm not even sure I'll be able to see them as an observer. I'm not 100% sure about that. Wow. Yeah, this is... You're not really going to see larger harvesting operations in this game, I think, than this map can afford. Pretty much doesn't get bigger than this. Boom. Ah, boy, there's a whole lot of saboteurs. Alright, so these guys do a lot of extra damage to buildings, but they fall to any other infantry extremely quickly. So, yeah, Frontliner is just tossing down saboteurs, and we'll see what's going to happen. Uh-oh, well, that's bad news for Frontliner, actually, because that sandstorm is removing all of his visibility on the map. Now he needs to send scouts out again and find out where everything is, unless his memory is, immaculate, which I know for a fact it is not. He's going to have to rescout before he sends the saboteurs out, because they have, if I remember, saboteurs have very low sight radius. I think they basically just behave like normal infantrymen, except they're cloaked all the time, which is what these darkened circles around them indicate. He doesn't even have to put them in the rock. I think the idea is he's thinking he's keeping them stealth by putting them in the rock, but he doesn't have to. Saboteurs are just always stealth, unless something's close by. What is that shooting? Oh, somebody taking pot shots at this guy, maybe. Yep, so he's rescouting the map, finding out where everything is. Still some big power issues over here. Kiwi may have forgotten that if you don't have a wind trap close to your buildings, then the power penalties for all those buildings are greatly exaggerated. So each one of these is costing him a whole lot of power on the network unless you can get a wind trap actually right next to them. Uh-oh, here come the saboteurs. moving in, being stealthy at the moment. Oh, they are now vulnerable. Oh, and a couple of buildings go down instantly. Rest trying to close the distance. They are not going to do well. Oh, nice. Got a high-tech factory, too. And a construction yard. That was awesome. Great play. Great play. Very cool. So that was something like 12 or 15 saboteurs. I think they cost 200 apiece. Cost him about 3,000 credits. Hopefully he destroyed that much if it's worth in the rest of the buildings. Maybe they could have been utilized a little bit better, maybe walking, down here or somewhere else. But still, that was awesome. Taking down that construction yard was a big bonus. Ooh, nice defensive perimeter set up for Kiwi. And more harvesters than you can shake a stick at. And even more refineries coming down. I still only see the infantry, and aside from that, oh boy. This is probably a gigantic starport order. Yes, it is. Starport lights are on. Here come the tanks. This is one of Frontliner's favorite things to do, is put in enormous orders with starports. Great. They're so jammed up. That's not going to cause any pathfinding issues. He's going to have to move all those guys a couple of times to make sure they stay there. And here's a whole pile of rocket launchers from SlowKiwi. Lots and lots of tanks. Lots of them left behind. Couldn't find a way out of there. Frontliner should just give them all an airlift move and just have the carry-alls bring them over or something. They'll automatically scatter. Now, what is Kiwi planning? Oh, he's got a nice front line of tanks and a back line of rocket launchers. That's always good to see. A few scouts. It's always good to keep in reserve. You never know what they're going to be useful for. Always keep a light vehicle group in reserve. I'd like to see those guys join the battle on the outskirts. And here's Frontliner going massed tanks. See how this works out. But you know what? Frontliner has done this kind of at a time when I expect Wormsign to come back anytime soon, so we'll see how this goes. There's some shooting. I'm sure we got shot. A couple of scouts, probably. Here come the tanks very slowly, and I still don't like the timing of this attack because we haven't seen Wormsign in a couple of minutes, I think, so it could come back at any moment. Hopefully it doesn't happen right in the middle of the combat, but we will see. So the tanks taking the beating up front. Tactically, a much more sound army composition from SlowKiwi, doing a heck of a lot of damage to his opponent. Not sure how long Kiwi's front line of tanks can actually withstand the punishment that Frontliner's bringing down. He's got so many reinforcements. But the rocket launchers in the back are doing huge damage. The rocket turrets as well are pitching in. This guy's going to get a few free pot shots. It's tanks, and some flak strikes. Yeah, Frontliner's not looking too good here, even though he's going to take out this front row of tanks. Oh, a couple of siege tanks coming up now. That's not good for Frontliner. Well, let's see if this is a diversionary tactic. Is Frontliner planning anything else? Are there a lot of saboteurs running around on the board? Not that I can see. Don't see any saboteurs, so it looks like this is it. Flank attack coming in here, but yeah, SlowKiwi has much the upper hand here simply because he chose to attack with 2 unit types instead of 1. So that makes a huge difference. Just like I'm always pleased to see that though in any game like this, where I can prove visually that this game that I've designed actually does really benefit you and reward you for having a well-composed army. We've got some armed harvesters here. We're definitely going to be taking some shots. Looks like that carry-all is going to be brought down by the flak trikes. Flak trikes going to get shot up by the tanks. A whole lot of rockets being shot. Why is they moving the flak trikes back? Siege tanks coming up to soak up some fire from the tanks easily. Watch those rockets, gentlemen. And destroying some tanks without any difficulty. And here finally come, okay, here's the next big starport order from Frontliner. Tanks didn't work, so now it's all rocket launchers. Alright, let's see how these guys do. I get the, they're going to do alright because those siege tanks are really slow. Actually, Frontliner, Kiwi would be really well served if he could back up and reformulate his attack pattern here, because this is not a good situation. Alright, there's an armed harvester. Frontliner may actually be lifting in his armed harvesters to soak up some damage, which is good. Yeah, once these tanks get up close, they're doing, almost instant kill damage to rocket launchers, but they're just too many rockets. And because Kiwi didn't quite have his rocket launchers spaced farther back and a siege tanks up front to soak the damage, he's not looking great right here. He is getting some good casualties against Frontliner, but just still too many rocket tanks. And the occasional harvester dropping in. And alright, wow, Frontliner really did have a lot of money, because now here come a huge order of siege tanks. This is getting silly. I think that's what this board was designed for, though. There's more being built up, more rocket launchers being built up for Kiwi. And now Frontliner is going to press the attack with a whole pile of siege tanks and rocket launchers of his own. That's a lot of harvesters. Alright, let's see what happens with these guys. Frontliner definitely should try and get his rocket launchers in the back. I'm going to take a break here for 5 minutes. I got to check on some boiling water. Alright, I'm back. Good thing I left the screen where it is, because this is where all the action's going down. And we will see. Oh, it's a lot of siege tanks packed into one place. We'll see how these guys will fare. Oh, look at all the Ornithopters, though. No anti-air support brought by Frontliner. The Ornithopters are destroying things. Having a free-for-all. Taking down tanks, taking down rocket launchers. Wow. Doing a lot of damage. It's a lot of Ornithopters. Always fun to see. Here comes Frontliner's next giant starport order. Frontliner is doing a complete macro counter build. All he's doing is everything that Kiwi brings in, Frontliner just buys the counter to it. I don't think that's going to work out really well for him in the long run. Come to think of it, I still don't know who Kiwi allied with his palace. He got the palace, but I don't really see a good indication of who he's allied with. I don't see him deploying anything special yet. Given that it's Wormside and I haven't seen Worms attack these units, he's probably allied with the Fremen just for that benefit alone. Yeah, so I'm willing to bet huge money that SlowKiwi has allied with the Fremen. I'd love to see him actually build some Fremen, some warriors, but it doesn't look like he's going to this game. Everybody's too focused on these massive armored tank battles. Kiwi slowly pushing forward. The missiles that the rocket launchers fire, they have a burst, they have an area of effect, and they do an awful lot of damage against infantry and buildings, but they do limited damage against heavy vehicles. So any kind of a tank or siege tank can usually get close enough to a rocket launcher to kill it without much trouble at all, unless they're in massive numbers. In which case you need massive numbers of your own. So here come a whole bunch more siege tanks from Frontliner. Let's see how long it takes them to get down there. There's quite a traffic jam building up right here. Not a whole lot of room, especially with all this stuff here. Frontliner actually would be really well served if he had placed at least one war facility and packed a bunch of troopers in these rocks or something. Because right now these rocks are tactically useless except to block his own traffic. So now we'll see what. Oh, look at that! Wow, it's like Frontliner is reading my freaking mind. where is the... So I guess he's just buying them up from the starport. Yeah, so there's going to be a whole crap load of infantry pouring out of there in a minute. We'll see how well they do. So here are the siege tanks slowly coming around the corner, very slowly. Yep. Come all the infantry. The troopers are coming, very slowly, but they're coming. Oh, it's a good fight. All right, now he is backing up. So he probably saw some of his infantry coming out. All right, hey, I see one guy with the retreat order. It's good. I don't know what Kiwi is counting. Well, Kiwi, you better kind of pack up your guys and do a bit better job of controlling this this little retreat thing that's going on here, because it's looking pretty ugly. His rockets are going to do a lot of damage to the infantry now that he's drawn them out in the open. I would rather have seen Frontliner leave them in the rocks to counter something next time it came along, but they are unfortunately running out in front to take full force of the damage. Be kind of a meat shield for the tanks, which is not really how it's supposed to work. So this was actually a great move by Kiwi. I wasn't real sure about his positioning of things. It looked like at the time, if Frontliner had just swept west here straight into him, I think he would have done a lot more damage. But in this case, Kiwi spread out. Frontliner kept moving south and then slowly started to peel left, and it gave Kiwi a chance to pincer him. This is a lot of ornithopter. This is awesome. You just don't see this. Now, Frontliner, where are the flak trikes? There they are. Make a huge order of flak trikes. Oh, good. And this is kind of what I was waiting for, to see some Harkonnen Devastators come out. Definitely wanted to see those guys at some point. We'll see how well they perform once they get to shoot something. Unfortunately, there's going to be all these ornithopters. See, we're running with 5, 6, 7 ornithopters, looks like, getting shot down. There's another couple. Some of the ornithopters going back to get repaired, some of them not being able to make it, too many flak trikes. Really, Kiwi it would have been best for Kiwi if once he saw all those flak trikes, if he had gone back to his high-tech vehicle factory and set it so that airstrikes were turned off, then all those, all this 10 or 11 total ornithopters would not have gotten killed for very little benefit. So, all right, let's see what the Devastators are going to do. Very slowly, and Frontliner is not allied with the Fremen, so I'm afraid the Devastators are going to get eaten as soon as Wormsign comes back. But if they can get out there, here they got flown into battle. Doing some good damage, destroying siege tanks with almost a single shot. Obviously, this many siege tanks you're not going to easily beat. Plus, a crap load of ornithopters shooting at you. That's not going to turn out well. I need something more going on than that. Still more ornithopters coming into the fray, getting shot down. Many of these, I'm sure, were repaired back from where they were. I gotta wonder, though. I mean, there's still a massive amount of money coming in for Frontliner. He should be able to put in a huge order of something. So I can't believe that Frontliner doesn't have a lot more money floating around. Devastator's really hitting hard, getting their money's worth, doing some damage, killing large tanks in almost single shots, but very slow and absolutely swarmed by these smaller units. Come on, Frontliner, where's your money? What is going on here? I mean, so many harvesters. How much money can he have? But I just don't see him doing much at the moment. He's got a whole bunch of heavy vehicle factories. High-tech factory is about to get destroyed. Gonna lose some flyers. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I lost a bunch of flyers because there was just no room for them. No place for them to land. Wow. Well, I see Kiwi doing awful well. Looks like, yeah, Frontliner GG'd. I'm really surprised by that. Frontliner has so many harvesters. What is he going to do with them all now? GG, gentlemen. Yeah, that was awesome. All these ornithopters, you just don't get to see that too often. That's great to see. We're having a good time. Awesome. It's also good to watch my game be played stably. Alright, I gotta cut this short because I gotta go back to the boiling water and get my food ready, but I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, this is Jesse, aka Drackbolt, creator and developer of Dune 2 The Golden Path. Hope you download and enjoy it, and maybe join the forums, and maybe donate, and maybe otherwise just be awesome. So, thanks guys. Take it easy. I'll leave it on here for a couple minutes so you can watch the destruction. Oh, still going on. Alright. Well, I'll have some Sonic tanks coming in just for the hell of it. Alright, I'm gonna leave. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.